The training hall fell silent as Instructor HFY watched the human, Marcus Chen, step onto the sparring mat. The Catherian's forearms trembled slightly, a nervous habit he'd developed since the Galactic Council had mandated that all species participate in integrated combat training. The human was smaller than most of the other cadets, standing barely 2 meters tall, but something about his movements made HFY's chitinous exoskeleton itch with unease. "Today we practice precision strikes against moving targets," HFY announced, his translator converting his clicks and whistles into standard galactic. "The exercise is simple. Hit the combat drones while they move in evasive patterns. Each successful strike earns points based on accuracy and timing." The other cadets, a towering Gorvanian with crystalline skin, 2 serpentine Velikari twins, and a gelatinous Blorf, nodded confidently. They had been training for cycles in their respective academies before joining this integrated program. The human, however, had only arrived 3 rotations ago from some backwater world called Earth. Instructor Velthara, a graceful Andromedan with translucent wings, activated the training sequence. 6 sphere-shaped drones materialized in the air, their surfaces gleaming as they began weaving through the space above the mat in unpredictable patterns. The Gorvanian went first, his massive fists creating sonic booms as he swung at the nearest drone. He managed to clip one, sending it spinning, but the others easily evaded his telegraphed movements. The Velikari twins moved with fluid grace, their whip-like appendages lashing out in coordinated strikes. They managed to tag 3 drones between them, drawing approving clicks from the instructors. The Blorf expanded its form, trying to engulf multiple drones at once, but the machines were too quick, darting away from its gelatinous embrace. It managed 1 solid hit before deflating in exhaustion. Then it was the human's turn. Marcus stepped forward, his posture relaxed in a way that seemed almost casual. The instructors had seen this before. New cadets often appeared overconfident until reality struck them down. But as the drones began their evasive dance, something extraordinary happened. The human's eyes tracked all 6 targets simultaneously, his head barely moving as he calculated trajectories and timing. Without warning, he exploded into motion. His first strike was a lightning-fast jab that caught a drone mid-dodge, sending it crashing into the wall with precise force. Before the other drones could adjust their patterns, Marcus had already pivoted, his leg sweeping upward in a devastating arc that clipped a second target. But it was what happened next that made Instructor HFY's mandibles drop open in shock. Marcus suddenly went completely still, his breathing becoming almost imperceptible. The remaining 4 drones, sensing no immediate threat, began to slow their evasive patterns. In that moment of reduced vigilance, the human struck like a coiled spring releasing its energy. His movements became a blur of calculated violence, each punch, kick, and elbow strike finding its mark with surgical precision. The 4th drone fell to a perfectly timed uppercut. The 5th was destroyed by a spinning heel kick that seemed to anticipate its escape route. The final drone, perhaps programmed with some form of self-preservation, attempted to flee toward the ceiling. Marcus didn't hesitate. He grabbed a training weight from the floor and hurled it with devastating accuracy. The projectile struck the drone dead center, obliterating it in a shower of sparks. The entire sequence had lasted less than 30 seconds. Instructor Velthara's wings fluttered nervously as she checked the accuracy readings. "Impossible," she whispered. 100% hit rate. Each strike was within millimeters of the optimal impact zone. The other cadets stared in stunned silence. The Gorvanian's crystalline skin had gone pale, while the Velikari twins had instinctively coiled together for protection. Even the normally unflappable Blorf had contracted into a tight defensive ball. "How?" HFY demanded, his voice carrying an octave higher than usual. "Your species has only recently achieved spaceflight. Your military technology is primitive compared to the Council races. How do you possess such predatory precision?" Marcus wiped sweat from his brow, seeming genuinely puzzled by the question. "I don't understand what's so surprising. This is basic combat training where I come from." "Basic?" Velthara's translator struggled with her incredulous tone. "You demonstrated tracking abilities that rival our most advanced targeting systems. Your reaction time was faster than our combat computers predicted possible for organic beings." The human shrugged. "Earth isn't exactly what you'd call a peaceful place. We've been fighting each other for thousands of years. Wars, conflicts, survival situations. Every human learns to fight from childhood, whether it's playground scuffles or formal martial arts. We have to be accurate because... He paused as if struggling to explain something obvious. Because if you're not accurate, you die. The instructors exchanged alarmed glances. Zexhai accessed his datapad, pulling up Earth's classification file. His exoskeleton began to itch more intensely as he read. Deathworld classification extreme. Predator-to-prey ratio unprecedented. Natural disasters constant. Survival requirements, maximum aggression and precision. He looked up at Marcus with newfound respect and fear. Your entire planet is a combat training ground. Marcus nodded thoughtfully. Yeah, that sounds about right. Though we prefer to call it home. As the other cadets slowly backed away from the human, Instructor Velthara made a note in her report. Recommendation for immediate advancement to elite combat units. Additional recommendation, psychological counseling for instructors assigned to human cadets. The human, oblivious to the terror he'd inspired, simply asked, "So what's next in the training schedule?" The silence that followed was answer enough.